Bleeding Blue Podcast, episode 27 coming at you. Ryan and Ryan are back. Ryan squared. We are here. We are ready to talk a little bit of hockey because some news came out today. Sheldon Keefe has been fired from his duties as the head coach of the Toronto Maple Leafs. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus Christ. Thank you, Leaf Nation, for getting him the fuck out of there. And we'll get into that, and we'll get into some baseball as they split the series with the Philadelphia Phillies. Decent series. We've got some players that have been good. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has actually been doing pretty well in his last little bit. We'll take that. And then finally, we will be discussing things that don't make sense on this Friday, recording this on Thursday episode right here with you. Things that do not make sense. And I'm excited to talk about that. But let's get into it. And Sheldon Keefe, he's gone. No with the Leafs. And this is exciting because now we get to look around and scurry around and see what coach we might be having next as the Leafs head coach. I'm excited. You saw the video? Did you see the video that he recorded?
Yeah. He looked sad, obviously, because he probably didn't want to leave because he's from Brampton. He's a hometown boy and probably wanted to keep his job. But I respected that he took accountability for the fact that he didn't coach the team that well. But the thing is, though, he's not the whole issue. Right.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
It's also problems with the players and upper management like Shanahan, who also needs to go hopefully soon. Right. It's not just him, right? So
yeah, you can't
blame it all on him.
You can only blame so much on the head coach. He's the person that usually is going to take credit, like especially in hockey, baseball, when a team's not doing well, the first thing they do is to show that they care and to show that they want to make a change is they fire the head coach. Most of the time, sometimes it does help. Sometimes the coach is the problem. They need a new leader. They don't trust their leader in their locker room, and that's what happens with teams. It's happened with Charlie Montoyo. It just didn't seem like the players responded to him and respected him. And we don't know what was going on in the Leafs locker room, if there was an issue with respect in regards to how much respect they had for Keefe, if there was an issue just with coaching, how he was coaching his players, how he was treating them. I'm sure there was not too many issues in that regard. But again, you need to switch things up when you've only been in the last, 7 years where they made the playoffs. You've only seen one time that you get past the first round. And at that point with this team, who was a big team, they're the Leafs, they're the juggernaut of the NHL, one of the juggernauts of the NHL. They need to be better. They need to be better. And I think you can agree with that. And that's what I got to say.
Yeah, you're right. I think Dubas was one of the main problems with this. Signing 4 guys to over $10 million contracts, and that's not going to win you a cup. Signing 4 guys, basically a quarter of your starting roster, that takes up half the salary cap. So that's one of the Keefe could only work with as much as he could, and hopefully he gets another job in the NHL because he's put in a better situation. There's a couple jobs up for grabs left in the NHL. Maybe he might just go back to the AHL and work for someone else and work his way back up. But I think he can definitely find another way to get back up in there.
You're right. He's on paper. I mean, he was given a roster that was loaded with a lot of good players that were good in the regular season. You can't say that. Like, you can say that. Like, his record as a coach in 5 seasons, 212 wins, 97 losses, 40 OT. That's a pretty good record. That's a pretty good.
Yeah, has the best winning percentage as a Leaf coach of all time. So.
Yeah, exactly. What does that, how much does that really matter? Like at this point, because you're not getting, the goal is Stanley Cup. The goal has to be every time Stanley Cup champion. That's what you need. That's the whole point, is to win.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole point of sports. It's easy as that. But yeah, that it just wasn't going to cut it. And I'm excited to see you were talking about we're talking about a couple episodes of maybe coaches that would possibly be in place or to replace Keefe. And I think somebody said, I remember we talked about Guy Boucher, maybe
I don't want him.
Trotz.
I don't really want him because he, sucks at creating a good power play for the team.
Yep.
So I wouldn't want him as the main coach. I think he might need to go too, but he'll probably stay. Just based off talks that I've been hearing. But
Trotz, man,
yeah,
that's
people are saying Craig Berube, who coached the Blues in 2019 to the Cup. He was on TNT recently, and Biz was kind of chirping him about how he's going to be announced if he stops chirping, talking shit about about the Leafs. He's going to be announced as the coach or something. Like, it's pretty funny. And yeah, so he's available, a bunch of other people, but I think he's kind of the front runner for the next coach as the Leafs, and I wouldn't be mad about it. I think just the main problem is Shanahan, because he was kind of the head of the monster that created this mess, and I think he might need to skedaddle as well.
Yeah. I also think Trey Living's got a lot of work to do as well in the offseason.
Yeah.
He's got some things to do to fix this. You want to go into next season positively. You know what? Like you've got some Leafs fans that, again, disappointed, and you're gonna see that. That's what's gonna happen. But man, you gotta. He has to do some things. Trading Marner, possibility. I don't even know if he's tradable though. That's the thing. Is it?
No, he has a no
He
move
has to
clause.
agree,
Same
right?
same with Tavares. They both have no move clauses, but I think
They have
they
to
can.
agree
I
then.
think there's a way that they can move him. There's a
Yeah,
possibility.
the way that they'd move him is that Marner has to agree to the trade.
Yeah, yeah. Same with Tavares.
Marner could
So
you could decide no, and which would be kind of annoying, but again, it's his right. You know, that's it's a,
he did say that he wanted to stay with the Leafs long term, but the thing is, if you want to stay with them long term, then you're gonna have to cut down on the money each year. The AAV is gonna have to cut down a bit if he wants to stay that long. So
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know, man.
Like this team's the way that this team is constructed is not like any other team. Like you don't see this. You don't see four players with this large amount of income and money,
Mm-hmm.
the annual averages. Like you should be like just rely on your core and trust your players that you have and play those players as well. It's like Matthews is awesome. Matthews is great. Nylander is great. They were great in the regular season, and like Matthews, yes, he had his moments in the postseason as well. Some big goals and some
Yeah.
big assists. But we've talked about this all last season. But it's like you can get money from Marner. You can get stuff from Marner. You can definitely
Right.
get assets, valuable assets. But yeah, like this is the first stepping stone, I'd say. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
a better future for this team.
Yeah, because I think I watched the video and people are kind of mixed on whether or not Marner should leave or should stay. Like the message that he had after the loss, and he's just talking about how he's like they're considered gods
Yeah.
to Toronto fans. Like I don't think that's the best way of putting it. You should have worded that a bit better, but it's not looking good for him right now.
I know what he means though. I know what he means. Like I think what he's just trying to say is like the way that like fans and the just like everyone around them, like including their staff and like PR and everyone just treats them. They're the Leafs, man. So and you're right though. Like fans absolutely love this team and they look up to Marner. You see the fans like in at the games, they're all want photos with Marner and they want the stick and everything like that. They care about
Mm-hmm.
this. It's different. You're a celebrity. Like you're a celebrity.
Yeah. So
And
do you think they should trade him? Is that if you had the decision to do it, would you?
I'd like to see what I could get. Like, you know what, if there's not anything
Yeah.
valuable that I'm getting out of him, because again, other teams also know. But he's a almost 100 point player. Like he's had multiple seasons where he's almost scored one or had 100 points in a season,
Right.
seasons in a row, and so I think
It's just the downside of him is his playoff performance.
yeah,
And I think other teams will be looking at that and
yeah,
probably,
I don't know how much though. Like I don't know how much. Like you don't look at like Aaron Judge or like Justin Verlander. I'm gonna just compare the two for a second.
mm,
And, like Clayton Kershaw sucks in the postseason. Like he is a terrible pitcher, known as a terrible pitcher
right,
in the
right.
postseason. But you'd still want him on your team, man. You still want him
Yeah.
on your team. Marner is nowhere near the level of Clayton Kershaw. Clayton Kershaw's a Hall of Famer now. He's been in the league forever. He's had multiple
Hmm.
good. But Marner is what helps you get to the playoffs in the first place with
Right.
posting 100 point seasons. He's on, when you look at Hockey Reference, he's on the top 12 players or whatever it is, or top 24 players that shows most valuable to this team in the entire
Hmm.
franchise of the Leafs. Marner is up there with Matthews, like already. Like
Hmm.
hasn't had as long his career as some other players like War Salming and Daryl Sutter or whatever his name is. Not Daryl Sutter.
Sittler.
Hitler. Yeah.
Sittler.
So yeah, definitely not that ugly fuck Daryl Sutter, but love the guy. Anyways, you know what I mean though. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
like my dad, he thinks that they should just get rid of everyone and just restart. Like Matthews, everyone, like Nylander, he thinks should get rid of
getting a
everyone.
lot of good stuff from those guys. But no, nobody wants to take their contract though, man. Like Matthews'
Yeah.
contract, yes, you could get some stuff out, but an 8-year contract for Willie, like nobody wants to eat that shit up, bro.
Yeah, because Matthews, he has 3 years left. Like he only signed a 4-year deal. But
Exactly.
yeah, Nylander, that's a little risky to
Tavares, maybe
he
if
should
Tavares
yeah,
plays good.
you should get
Tavares
rid of him when he has
fucking
value.
players love it here, which is is almost too annoying. Like you hear
Yeah.
it all the time.
Well, yeah, he's from
I know.
Oakville or wherever. I can't
It's
remember exactly, but
Ontario, it's got to be the most like most hockey NHL players probably come from Ontario.
no, you actually be surprised. It's actually
I-
I'm pretty sure it's actually BC or Alberta
Okay.
where the most guys come from. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. But at least most of the guys that are on the Leafs are from this area.
Marner's fucking Markham. I don't know. Tavares,
Yeah,
where Oakville? Where's he from?
yeah, yeah.
And like,
Same shit. But yeah, like their families are here. They've been here for a long time. Yeah, it's gonna be tough for them to want to leave
anyway, yeah,
unless they can get more money from another place, which probably won't happen, especially for Tavares because he's dwindling down in his NHL career.
yeah, exactly.
So
Uh,
it's going to be interesting this offseason to see what comes ahead for this team.
you're right. You're right. Anyway, Did you check out the games last night?
Yes, the Vancouver game was awesome. I watched every single minute of that game.
That was
I'm very excited for that series to unfold.
it also
Um,
confirms that a Canadian team's making the Western Conference Finals,
yeah,
which is
which is
great.
good sign. Good
Yeah,
sign. Yeah. If only us and Winnipeg could do the same thing, but I guess not. But it is what it is. But this will be an exciting series. I think it'll keep going back and forth because um I think just the Oilers had a bad night. They'll probably come back and win game 2 tomorrow and yeah, tie the series up. But like the McDavid had 0 shots on goal, which was the first time he's ever had that in a playoff game.
that's
And
great.
he'll light it up. He'll light it up um tomorrow, 100%. Like he's going to get at least 3 assists, I think, or at least 3 points. He'll play well. I think just they slacked off in the third period, and Vancouver took advantage of it, and
Yeah.
they scored some nice goals. So I'm excited for that series. The Florida Boston series is very exciting as well.
Yeah.
That
In
fight
the
between
upset,
Kachuk and Pasternak, that was great.
that was
I just wish Matthews could do something like that, or Marner could do something like that. Just set the tone for the team, even though they're losing.
yeah. Because
Marner would never
Pasternak
fight
not a
anyone.
fighter.
Marner would never fight anyone, but Matthews has a couple times. Matthews fought Stamkos last year.
I remember that. Yep.
Yeah, that was interesting.
That was to go back to that series, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Incredible.
that was great. Yeah,
Incredible.
so but I'm excited for that series too. Colorado Dallas was the exact same thing, like the Vancouver game last night. That's gonna be going back and forth too. I think Dallas will win tonight. And the Rangers Carolina series, I was not expecting the Rangers to go up 2-0 at home. I
Yeah.
thought at least Carolina was going to take the first game, first just like one of the games away and go tied. But now they're in a hole right now, and they gotta step up and come back and win these next two. So that would be some fun games coming up. A pretty good series in the second round. I'm very excited to
Hmm.
see who wins this cup. It's going to be
Yeah,
a lot of fun watching these games.
for sure. For sure, for sure, for sure. All right, let's move on to our segment of things that do not make sense. All
All
right.
right, you want to go first?
Want me to go first? Okay, I'll go
Yeah,
first.
you go first. You go.
All right. Let's start it off. This is a little bit sports related, sports stadium
Okay.
related, and it also relates to just life in general. I'll say
Okay.
my issue, things that do not make sense, tipping. And I agree, I believe in tipping, but when it
Yeah.
comes to tipping on my you just passed me a box of Mary Browns at the Mary Brown Press at the Rogers Center, and you want me to tip you 20% for just handing me a box that you didn't even make. Fuck that. No
Hmm.
shit. No shot. Subway.
Yeah.
Made a Subway sandwich. I'm not tipping you for making a Subway sandwich. That's your job. You're getting
Yeah.
paid to do that. I don't need to pay you
Mm.
extra because you delicately put on the lettuce. Fuck you. No shot, bro. I don't get that. It pisses me off. I think US is the issue because they tip everybody. You see, it falls back to the Italians back in the day when they were like, hey, Sonny, why don't you go shine my shoes and then I'll tip you. He's $100. Go buy his mom a bag of flowers, something like that. I don't
Right. Right.
buy his dad a loaf of bread. Like, no more. No
Get
more.
yourself something
Here's an
nice, like
issue.
get something nice.
It's like popcorn. Like again at the Rogers Center,
Hmm.
you make me a box of popcorn. I'm not tipping you for grabbing a fucking scooper and putting popcorn in a bucket. It doesn't make
Hmm.
any sense. Beer's the same thing. I have an issue. Like I don't like serving bar or tipping bartenders. I know the job's tough.
Really?
I don't like doing it. No, because
Okay.
I'm like I don't know. Like if I get a beer, you grab a beer out of the fridge and give it to me.
Crack it open. Yeah.
You need a tip for that? Like I know it's your job. Like certain drinks, like if you're making a drink, mixing a drink, and maybe the service is good, sure I'll give you a tip. And
Right.
but no, like I just don't like because again, like I'm already spending so much money at the bar too. I don't need to
Right.
add an extra $2 because you're a pretty lady. Like I don't know, I'm not doing that.
Right. No,
So
I respect that take 100%. The only time I really tip is at like a restaurant,
yeah,
like for like a waitress, or if the service is good, yeah. Or like a delivery driver. Like if I order delivery to my house or wherever I am, I'll
okay,
I'll give I'll give it I'll give a small
like
tip,
Uber
like,
Eats or like
yeah, like a 10, 15, not like maybe 15 if it comes fast, but yeah, like 10%. But yeah, you're right. Like it's getting a little excessive with when they hand you the debit machine or whatever, and it says 10, 50, like all the before you even put your card on.
tips.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no tip. Yeah, like no, fuck you. Like this is your job. Like you can't be asking for tips for everything. That's like me. Like I used to work on a golf course. That's like me. You know, cutting the hole on the green, and then the next group that comes up to me gives me a $5 bill because I moved the hole for them.
Yeah.
Like it's ridiculous. Like there's no point, right? It's your
No,
job.
I agree with you.
You only really deserve it if you put in,
Yeah, that's the
real
thing.
work.
Like at restaurants, I do tip at restaurants because again, I'm going out. I'm gonna be spending money. If I'm going out to a
Mm.
restaurant, I'm gonna spend a decent amount of money. Service is good. The server is nice. Like that's part of the experience of going there. Is like you have good service. Your server is a nice person and is
Get your food on time,
yeah,
so
get
you're
your
not
food
waiting
on
too
time.
long.
The food is good too. That's like tipping.
Your drinks are being refilled.
Exactly. There's certain things that the etiquette that they put in
Hmm.
place. And so then 100% sure I will always tip. Also, I work in the restaurant industry as well. So I know the shit that people in the back of house, front of house experience. There's a lot of work that goes into it, especially certain restaurants. Like there's a lot of stuff that goes into just making sure somebody's experience is good. So that's when I will, I'll be like, hey, good job. Here's a tip. That's kind of what it is, I
Yeah.
guess. But
No,
yeah,
I respect that take because tipping culture has been getting out of hand
it's like
recently.
it, yeah, the
It's
biggest,
because of the economy, and I understand people aren't earning as much as they need to make more money, but you know that's everyone. Everyone's having that same problem,
yeah,
unless you're a big CEO for a company or whatever. But
yeah.
I think a good movie clip that relates to that is the beginning of Reservoir Dogs. Uh, I think that's a great with Steve Buscemi, and they're talking about tipping people, and I think it's a great clip, and that still holds. That movie came out what, like 30 years ago, just over 30 years ago, and that still holds, man. I think that clip still holds, and that's why Tarantino is one of the goats. But yeah, Reservoir Dogs. First, I think it's like the first 5-10 minutes of the movie.
Oh
Just
yeah.
have a quick watch. It's a good scene.
Right.
Relating to Ryan's take, but yeah, mine's kind of no, not really, but it's food related. Um, this one's kind of a weird one. Why are certain foods correlated with breakfast, lunch, and dinner? So let's say, for example, what if I want to have pizza for breakfast? Why can't I do that?
I
I don't that doesn't make sense to me. Why can't I have pancakes for dinner? You have Pancake Tuesday right before Ash Wednesday, and you're eating all these breakfast foods at for dinner. And why don't we do that more often? Why don't people do that more often?
well, I'll tell you right now, I've definitely eaten like cold pizza for breakfast. Like I've woken up and like, oh, there's
Right,
pizza there. I'll fucking eat that.
right. Like, and
Yeah.
more people should be doing that. Like taking, doing something different. Why aren't people eating?
I
You
think
know,
yeah, people
why aren't
just
you having ice cream for breakfast? Why does dessert have to be saved for the after dinner?
well, I think it's because humans have just become accustomed to this life where I don't know who, it's just since the dawn of time, it's like you have a breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Oh, bacon is great in the morning. It's a great thing to wake up to. Oh, smell of bacon.
Right.
That's perfect. I agree with that. It's like,
Coffee, I can understand because coffee, gets you energized, gives you the caffeine intake for the rest of the day. You can't be having coffee at night because you're going to be awake
the
the
thing
whole
is
night.
though,
So
people
that there are exceptions, but I have the occasional coffee once in a while at night if I want to stay up. But like here's another example. McDonald's, they had the breakfast menu, and they used to only have it until 11 a.m. or something. And
yeah.
then all of a sudden they had now it's the all day breakfast. So you can have breakfast whenever. But why don't they do, when they have the lunch and dinner menu with the burgers or whatever, the fries, why don't they extend that to the morning? Why can't you have a Big Mac for breakfast? even
Oh,
though I would choose to
I
do
am
that.
I am
Even
not.
though I wouldn't choose to do that, but the fact that, why don't, I
Yeah,
think it's just logistics wise, McDonald's can't
I
have
think
the
like most of the time breakfast is like it depends. Sometimes like if you're going out, you'll have like a bigger breakfast, but like most of the time breakfast it's not a big meal. It's like cereal. You're just gonna have like a bowl of cereal. It's not gonna be a big
right.
so a Big Mac, having a Big Mac for breakfast is like I've seen friends of mine that have done that, but like it's like usually like a small meal that you're gonna do is gonna have like maybe a sausage McMuffin. So think about it though, sausage McMuffin in the morning hits the fucking spot.
It
Like
is it is basically a burger though. No, isn't it like the
but
same
I don't think
calorie
of it like
intake?
that. I think of it as like because I just think society tells us that sausage
Right.
and bacon are
And
breakfast
eggs.
and
Yeah.
eggs are breakfast foods. But the thing is though, I eat eggs for lunch. I'll eat eggs for dinner. Like
Right. Eggs is I feel like, I always see I see commercials once in a while like the eggs like company or the eggs brand or whatever. They always promote like why don't we eat eggs for dinner? Like they always promote like, eating it like whenever.
yeah,
So
it's great.
I feel like that's another exception to the take that I'm trying to bring out. But yeah, I just don't understand why these specific foods are staying in these categories, right?
You know what?
Like what if I want a shepherd's pie for breakfast? I don't know. I'm just thinking about random food that, are synonymous with
But
dinner or like
you know what,
a
dude?
steak. Steak's another one. Steak
I
you
was
can
gonna
have
say
you can have it for breakfast.
steak
Yeah.
and eggs,
They
man.
have
That's like
steak and eggs, yeah.
that's something you totally get at. But I think it's just like people have become accustomed. It's a habit. It's like drinking coffee. It's like you drink coffee in the morning. If you go for breakfast, you're gonna have something like eggs or home fries, and
Hmm.
that's become accustomed, and people feel comfortable and enjoy that type of food in the morning. I know I do. I like the idea of after a nice drinking with the boys Friday night, we're hungover as shit, going out to Sunset Grill and grabbing uh,
Right.
the 3 egg special with toast. That's what I like. I don't want to go out in the morning and have a Big Mac for breakfast. I don't want to go out and have fucking lasagna for breakfast. That does sound,
Right.
but like no, I just don't. That's not like it's. You know what I mean? That's
Hmm.
I I wholeheartedly agree because I love all those types of meals at any time. Like
Hmm.
I've definitely eaten pizza in the morning. Pizza in the morning is gas.
Right.
Just like leftover pizza, insane.
They try to accommodate like they do breakfast. Like I've heard of like breakfast pizza before. Like they
Yeah.
make like they make instead of like tomato, it's like different like they put like different toppings on it and shit. But like it's not like a regular pepperoni pizza, like heavy cheese and
Mhm.
heavy on the cheese. It's more like eggs and shit like that. But
I'm definitely. I got a quick question before we move on to Blue Jays talk. Are you breakfast boy? Or are you a dinner guy?
I don't know. I don't know. It kind of varies from the day. But I do like the breakfast in the morning with the coffee and because I'm a big coffee drinker, so like I just like I could have like a coffee at like 9 p.m. and I wouldn't really be affected by it. I just drink it because of the taste.
Yeah, it's like
I used to hate coffee like when I was younger. I used to hate it. It used to taste like shit.
most kids.
But
Yeah.
like now I just put like a couple spoonfuls of sugar and just like a little bit of milk and it's money.
Ew. Don't you got to black, man. All black
I
coffee.
do. I have black once in a while. I've restricted myself because I used to drink like the iced coffees and shit with like all the milk and
That
like
shit's
I have that once in a while too. But like I'm trying to restrict myself from putting too much sugar in it because I do like the black coffee. Like black coffee's good.
it
I
is.
have it once. I have if the coffee's really good, you don't need anything in it. That's another take. Like I don't know why people put like so much shit in their coffee. Like I see all these like Starbucks enthusiasts putting like fucking massive amounts of cream and all this bullshit in. Like you
Those
don't need all
people
that.
aren't even real people. Like those people are ridiculous. No, like that does not make any sense. You don't listen to anything they say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had a nice. We have a nice. My sister used to work at this cafe, which is literally like a 5 minute walk from my house, and they have amazing coffee. And whenever I go there, like I just get one. I just put one packet of sugar. That's all I need because like I feel like it's too strong. Like I still like black coffee is still kind of like a reach for me in terms of like taste wise. Like I don't know if I can enjoy it as much, but like I just put one packet of sugar and it's like perfect. Like they
Yeah,
have like the best coffee there.
see.
It's called Tin Roof Cafe. Go check it out in Aaron. Good spot.
Sounds good. Anyway, let's move
Let's
on.
move on to the Jays though.
Let's
Yeah.
move on to the Blue Jays. Blue Jays split the series with the Philadelphia Phillies. Philadelphia Phillies, the best team in baseball. First thing started off game
Are they
one.
the best team though? Are
Huh?
they better than the Dodgers or the Braves or
Best team in baseball.
yeah? All right.
Um, the first game absolutely terrible. Jose Barrios did not have his stuff today. That day.
Mm-hmm.
8 runs, grand slam to Bryce Harper, which was absolutely torture to watch. That was the worst thing in the world. His ERA went from 1.44 to 2.87, I want to say, something like that. It's moved.
Wow, really? That just that one game just took it down like that?
Take a look.
Wow. Took it
Right.
up, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, 8 earned runs on 7 hits and 3.2
Point
innings.
five. Yeah. So it's not too
But
good.
seven strikeouts though.
Yep,
He's still striking out guys. But
for sure.
but the
It
thing
doesn't
is though,
matter because
I'll allow it though because he's been playing very good this season. So he was due to have a shitter
yeah.
upcoming, due to have a bad outing, but that's fine. You
Yes.
know, he
No.
can he can have one of those games once in a while.
You're right. No, for sure. It's but how about that guy Vladimir Guerrero Jr.? He has been very, very good so far.
Mm-hmm.
In the last few games that he's had. If we take a look at his last few games, he's had a 3 hit in his last game. The game before that, he had the walk but no hits, and then the game before that in Washington, 2 hits, hit again. He's been very, very solid, and
Yeah.
he's been a little bit what we need him to be. I think honestly, the dude needs to be uh hitting more home runs. That's honestly,
Right.
I think he needs to be hitting more home runs rather than um not hitting home runs, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
So anyways, I think
That's what we pay him for, right?
yeah,
You gotta be hitting the
gotta
bombs.
do better than that. George Springer is another issue with this team. That dude
Yeah.
needs to move out of the
Number one spot. Yeah. Yeah.
I actually called Blair and Barker, no shout out, and spoke to them about
No
why.
way. Really?
Yeah.
That's
And
sick.
wanted to explain. I was curious as to why the hell George Springer is still in the number one spot. There's
Were
no
you
reason.
live on the show?
No, it's
Were you
a
live?
voice.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, they said Ron from Newmarket, and then Kevin Barker's
Yeah.
Southern accent. Actually, it was Jeff Blair, but anyway,
Right.
it was yeah. So I think like last year when he got moved down, I remember hearing that he was not happy with it. He's supposed to be this face of the franchise, and he's still in the number one spot, and I think
He's
it's
doing too many commercials, doing too many TV commercials.
holding down this team, man. It's like you have so many other players that have been doing better. And we talked about this last week, and I don't want to get into it too much, but it's uh it's really tough. And this team right now is just it's not good. Like
Yeah.
we been struggling, and you kind of alluded to this before the season started. Like they're probably gonna be like above slightly above 500, a 500 team. And it's shown.
Hmm.
Like fans are pissed off. I'm pissed off. Like it's not even like I don't have that same energy and excitement that I had years prior. Like I remember
Hmm.
being so intensely involved and attached to this team, but I just don't even care. Like I thought Romano was gonna blow the save yesterday, And I was like, I don't fucking care. Like, if he does, he does. It'd just be funny.
Yeah, he barely fucking blew it.
Honestly, I
Barely
kind of
blew it.
wanted to because it shows some excitement in this game. Like, because this team doesn't hit home runs, it doesn't do anything other than it's. We've been accustomed to before in 2022 and 2021 this home run hitting team, and we thought they could continue to replicate that. But the core has shrunk so much down to just Bo and Vladdy that um, they aren't even like valuable. Like it's
Mhm.
not they're not enough to keep this core going and this then keep them as the Toronto Blue Jays that we know them as. Like
Right.
IKF and Ernie Clement, Dave Schneider, they can help out as much as they can, but how much are they gonna do? They're not Lourdes, they're not Teo. So it's tough to watch for sure. This team is not a lot of fun. Dalton Varsho, same thing. Like, how much is he going to do? Like, you can't put too much pressure on him because as soon as you do, he's going to pop. And that's what happened last year when you put him in the one hole or in the clean.
Right.
Like, he just sucked. Like, he was not good. And I think the pressure got to him. And, it's,
I think that's why Springer's staying at one, because at least he's had the experience of being there his whole career basically. So
yeah,
he can at least somewhat handle it, other than putting like
a random Ernie Clement.
right, putting
I
someone
know what
like
you mean.
young like them
That's
up
a good
there.
point.
And that's
That's a
probably
good
why they're keeping him. Like
point.
Bichette going down to six, I think it was a great idea, because like, he needs to step up like you've been talking about. And
Mhm.
he went 1 for 4 yesterday, but he got a run, which is nice.
Yep.
Yeah, like, Bo's slacking and he's taking that good. Like, he's owning up to the fact that he needs to be better, and going down to six is, if that's what has to be done, has to be done, right? So, in
Yep.
order to
That's what
win
he
games.
said.
So
And I'd like to see George Springer come out and say, like, explain, like, take accountability for the fact that you're not helping out this team. Like, that's what needs to.
Ugh. And
And
also, John Schneider needs to. I hate him so much, man. Like, I hate this fucking guy so much. Like, every week there's always one media conference with him saying, "You know what? We'll get better. We'll get better. Don't worry.
I mean, what do you
We'll
want him
eventually
to
get
say? What do you
better."
want him to say? You want him to be negative? You want him to say,
Yeah, I want him to say my players suck and we have to like, we gotta fucking start hitting the ball, instead of saying we will get better. That's the same attitude Sheldon Keefe has. Like, you know, like, just not taking accountability for not coaching or
I think he
managing your
takes
team.
accountability. I've heard him definitely say before when Vladdy needs to step it up, when George needs to step it up. That's what he said the other day. He's called out Bo, he's called out Vladdy, he's called up Springer many times. He called out Springer saying Springer needs to get going. Like, he needs to get going. Uh,
Right.
and so that's a good start, honestly. And I like, again, like, you can't say we suck. Like, you have to go. You have to have the mentality. What's that noise?
No, I was just smirking because they don't suck, but it's just, sometimes it's nice to say something like that to the media, and maybe that'll draw attention to the players, and then they can actually perform. But
Yeah, you're right. Because sometimes, you know what, you say the team sucks, but like, I think they're not. Yeah, they're not playing well right now. But what
Mhm.
you can do is say, act like we are a good team, and feel that you are a good team, because then eventually you might start playing like a good team if you keep that mentality that you are, and say to the media, So it's tough. They'll eventually fall down when, if they do ever, if they do, then they'll come out and say, yeah, we're not, it's not going well. We're not,
Right.
but they're not going to come out and say our players stink. Because once that happens, they're just not.
Then they lose all faith in the manager, and then he's
Exactly.
done. And
Exactly.
yeah,
It's like, oh, you said think we stink? You fucking stink as a coach, man. You decided to put Trevor Richards in a one-run ball game in the ninth inning when you had Jordan Romano rested. What the fuck is, like, that's something that they would
right,
use against him, because he probably would do that. So,
right.
anyways, The team, Aaron Sanchez signed with the Jays minor league deal. The Sandstorm is back. The
Funny.
Great Sanchino is with the team. Um, let's take a look at this guy's stats right here.
What has he been doing the past like 3 years? What has this guy been like?
His
This
baseball
guy
team
even
shows
played?
that he plays with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Um,
I don't remember that.
yeah, he's a minor leaguer with them, or he maybe played.
Oh, okay.
Maybe he signed like a spring training minor league deal and then opted out or something like that. Yeah, so last year he played he had 20 starts with Minnesota and Arizona, 5.54 ERA, and that was just in the minor leagues.
Oh, okay. I was
And
like, I don't remember him playing for Minnesota or
he
Arizona.
played for Washington in 2022, and then he played 8 games with Minnesota in 2022. I guess he was traded. In 2021, he wasn't terrible. He had in 2021, he had played 9 games, 7 starts with San Francisco.
Okay.
And then he missed all of 2020. And then 2019, he got traded from the Jays to Houston. Didn't play much there.
Yes, I remember that. I remember that.
Had a 6.07 ERA. He's got this is he gets blisters. That's his issue. But man,
What
Aaron,
a pussy way to say you're injured. You get blisters.
yeah, he's back,
What,
man.
what, what kind of
Nostalgia.
stupid excuse is that? Blisters.
I don't
It's
know.
your job to throw the fucking ball. If you're getting
I don't even
blisters, you
think
shouldn't
I
even
don't
be in
even
the
think it's an
business.
excuse. I think it wasn't like an injury. It's just like that's what causes him to like suck. Like not. It's just like
Because he has no durability on his skin. Is that why? Is he like gets third degree burns just throwing a baseball?
he was insane with the Blue Jays. Don't be insulting our boy, bro. Don't
He
be.
had that one. He had that one like insane year, and then he
He had
just
a
fell
couple
off.
good. He had a few really good years. The year before, he was a bullpen, and he also started 3.22 ERA. You look at some of his highlights, like high velo guy. He's filthy. Like he's a first rounder. He's a good pitcher. He 1.09 ERA in 2014, 2015. Yeah, bullpen guy. Then he had 30 starts with the Blue Jays the next year in 2016. He was great, man.
Yeah.
He was insane. He was a ERA title for the American League. 192 innings. That pitching staff was again
Do you think he's going to be starting for the Jays? Like
oh
he's going to be like a backup to Manoa if he plays like
that's
shit?
some crazy stuff's got to happen for for
Really?
yeah, I don't know, man. That'd be intense. Like that'd be crazy. I don't know. I really don't know. But
It would be interesting if he did.
yeah. Oh, excuse me. Um man, that pitching staff though in 2016 was ridiculous. Like
Yeah.
Marcus Stroman 32 starts, J Happ
J
3
App was nasty that year.
3.18 ERA, 195 innings. Aaron Sanchez, 30 starts, 3 ERA. Marco Estrada,
I
3.4.
miss that team, man. I miss that fucking
That
team.
dude. R.A. Dickey,
Dude,
another.
J Happ had a 286 batting average, dude. That's how nasty he was. Dude had 286 batting average. It's the
Yep.
GOAT right there.
Yeah,
Wasn't Strowman injured that year? Or was it 2015 he was injured?
2015. But he
Oh,
came
okay.
back and was a dog. He was just a dog.
R.A. Dickey, 10 and 15. God damn.
Yeah.
R.A. Dickey was like the only good knuckleballer in
Yeah.
the league. Oh, there's my boy Joe Biagini. That was my boy back in the day. Brett Cecil, probably one of my favorite
Look like Joby
relievers of all time. Do I look like Joe Biagini?
a
Yeah, a little
little
bit.
bit. A little bit.
Maybe that's why he was my boy.
Yeah. Not a
Who
bad
else?
thing. Dude was a
I
dog.
liked my boy Aaron Loop. That was also my boy.
I do not like Aaron Luke.
I know that's why he
Ryan
sucked, but he
Tepera,
was funny.
not like either. As a Roberto Osuna was gas. Like Liam Hendricks pitched on the 2015 Blue Jays
Yeah,
staff.
You sure
Liam
did.
fucking Hendricks.
You
He
sure did.
he was a bullpen guy. Who else did they
That
have?
was a great team,
Troy
man.
Hawkins, Brett Cecil.
Dalton Pompey, Mississauga,
Yeah,
Ontario's Dalton
now a
Pompey.
cop. Yeah, but Brett
He's a
Cecil,
cop now.
that guy, Brett Cecil, bro.
Yeah, Brett Cecil was my boy too. I literally said Brett Cecil.
Yeah,
Brett Cecil was my boy.
yeah. Holy shit, they had so many.
Mr. Glasses.
Yeah, the glasses, Bo Schultz, Ryan Tapera, Liam Hendricks.
Francisco Liriano was on that team. God damn.
Remember Liam Hendricks? Like, I just remember man. Imagine that bullpen. Like, that's crazy. Fucking
hmm
Roberto Osuna, Aaron Sanchez pre 2016, and he's still like a dog. Liam Hendricks, Brett Cecil, another dog, Aaron Loop, Bo Schultz, Ryan Tapera, and
Let's be real though. Let's be real. If the Jays beat the Royals, ALCS, do you think they beat the Mets in the
that's a
World
great
Series?
question. They Mets didn't have they were the same thing. They just had an insane pitching staff, and that's what
Right.
grew.
That
Uh,
way they had young DeGrom and Syndergaard and
Matt Harvey.
Matt Harvey. Yeah.
Let me take a look right here. Matt Harvey, Bartolo,
Yeah,
um,
Bartolo was on that team, yeah.
Nice. I'm not sure who that
Or
is.
how about the year after? Do you think they beat the Cubs in the World Series? They beat Cleveland? I think they get
No,
destroyed by the Cubs. I think
I
they
do
get
not think they
destroyed.
beat
The
Cleveland.
Cubs were nasty that year, dude. They were
Cleveland
too
was really
good.
good too, and that was the issue as well. Is like pitching staff was just great that year for Cleveland. Cleveland
Right.
had
They had Kluber and
Brasco,
what's his name?
Trevor Bauer.
Yes. He should be playing in the league right now. We should fucking sign him, dude.
No,
Yes. He's nasty.
I don't
And
know.
don't talk about the sexual assault allegations. That was
I wasn't.
she
I was.
pleaded. I thought that was your reasoning why.
No, he's just
Because
an
he
insane clubhouse cancer. Like
oh
he's like that's what I've heard. I'm not in the clubhouse, but I just like I don't
no,
know.
but you're right though. He does all these like TikTok videos with these these idiots online, and
I don't know.
yeah, I guess it makes sense. But was Shane Bieber on that team, 2016, or was
No,
he not in the league yet?
but it was a filthy team. I'll say that
Yeah,
at least. It was I don't know. That's a great question though. Do they beat if they like I
I
think
think they beat the Mets. I think they beat the Mets, but I think they get clapped by the Cubs.
you
I
know
think they
what
get clapped.
the other thing is though, do they beat because Kansas City that previous year prior or in 2015 they beat the Houston Astros in a 3-2
Right,
series. And
right.
I think they beat the like if the Astros because they lost like they gave like what ended up happening was like they had the lead and they blew the lead. And if you want to go,
The Astros are up 2-0,
they were up in the series. It was something bad.
2-1.
They were Houston Astros. They were up 2-1, and then they had the lead in Game 4 and could have won, but they ended up fucking
Mm,
blowing the doors open, and
right.
City won. And but so we could have
The
had
Astros,
Astros
the
as
cheaters,
I don't know if they're cheating
cheaters.
2015, but
Ah, they probably will. They probably were.
yeah.
They still, Altuve and those cheaters, Bregman, those bitches.
All
Springer
right.
was on that team, no?
Who?
2015, he was there. Springer was there, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he was.
All right.
Still a cheater.
Let's finish it up. Let's wrap this up.
Okay.
Podcast. Thank you guys for listening. Another great classic episode as usual. You already
Yeah.
know.
Just putting
Uh,
out bangers every single week.
every 2 times a
That's what we
week.
do.
Johnny, you couldn't even fucking fathom the idea of doing a fucking podcast, you lazy piece of shit. Uh, let me tell you, Johnny, Blue Jays, I still believe in them. 92-70. That'll be the record by the end of the year. Was that what I said? 92 wins or something
No,
like
you said more than that. You said
No, I
like
said World
98.
Series. No, I didn't say more than that. No, fuck that. I did
You
not say.
said 95, 96.
I said World Series. Do I believe that? I don't know. But we'll have to wait and see. but
Mhm.
I suck in fantasy. I'll say that. I fucking have been shitting the bed. But that ends it off
Yeah.
for today's episode. Thank you guys for listening, and cheers.